Well, hello there, YouTube. It's Brew by Me. How y'all doing? Good, I hope. It's been a long time since I did a review. Been busy with my homebrew stuff, setting up the cottage and all that stuff. Anyway, speaking of the cottage, I was supposed to review this one at the cottage when I was there last weekend, but I never got around to it, so I brought it home, and I'm going to review it at home. Don't worry. I'm going to bring some beers up to the cottage, and at some point we'll do a review up there. So tonight I'm reviewing a beer that was brewed in the UK. This is Worthington's White Sheild. Now, for those of you that don't know, this is a Burton-upon-Trent, so it's basically a replica of the first IPA. It's supposed to be a replica of the first IPA that went from Europe to India, or so let's see what it says here. It says William Worthington first started brewing in 1744, becoming a pioneering figure in the industry. The secret to Worthington's success was the purity of Burton's water, helping to create superior beers desired by many to this day. The William Worthington's Brewery continues to brew exceptional quality ales at the heart of the British brewing. The National Brewery Centre, Burton-upon-Trent, White Sheild is the longest surviving India Pale Ale and one of the UK's most heavily decorated ales, having won numerous campaign for Real Ale awards. For best results, allowed to settle for 12 hours, serve at 11 to 13 degrees. This is good till April 2015. Multiple award winner, campaign for Real Ale, closer to the cask for a fuller flavor. Now, so you guys know, this was in the LCBO recently, and I bought the book IPA, which was written by Steele, and in his book he has a recipe for the Burton Ale. And why yeast, one of the liquid yeast, I use a lot of liquid yeast, why yeast, liquid yeast, and they came out with a Burton IPA version of yeast. So I'm going to be making a Burton IPA strictly with pale malt. I might not make it 100% authentic, because I want to put my own twist on it. In my opinion, IPA should have a little bit of a darker hinge to it than 100% pale malt, which the recipe calls for. So I don't know. I might do 100% pale malt, or I might do 95% pale malt and 5% caramel malt. Not sure. Also, they suggest that East Kent Goldings was the hop of choice. We'll see. That's what I'll use. So yeah. Anyways, so I read you what this is. So there you have it. 5.6% ABV. I'm going to be using my IPA glass, my butt plug glass, as some people call it. This was made by Dogfish Head and Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. They collaborated to make this IPA glass, blah 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 blah. The White Sheild with a red sword, established in 1744 is what it says. So without further ado, let's crack her open. Got some smokage there. Let's give her a pour. There you have it, amber in color. You got a nice 2-finger head, tiny tight bubbles. It's a beautiful looking beer. It is see-through, I can see right through it. Nice carbonation coming up through the bottom there. It's a beautiful, beautiful looking beer. Anyways, let's give it a smell. I'm going to start with the bottle. Very, very light for an IPA. Not too much in the bottle. Picking up a little bit of that floral, earthy kind of hop there. Slight bit of sweetness from the malt. Very little to none caramel, very little to no caramel malt. There's not much smell to it, guys, girls, whoever's watching. Yeah, same thing in the glass. Has a little bit of a fruity kind of floral kind of kick there. But that's about it. There's nothing. Yeah, floral, earthy, kind of fruity type smell there. That's it. Cheers. Alright, take a swig of it. A very, very light mouthfeel. Light to medium carbonation. Nice dryness at the back. It finishes nice and dry. It's a very refreshing beer. So that's the beer side of things. I just noticed, I don't know if you guys can see it. You see that? There's some floaties in the bottom there. Picking up a very, very faint amount of malt sweetness. A nice amount of bitterness, but not overwhelming. It's a very a light IPA compared to today's standard in the American style IPAs. It's very clean, very crisp, very refreshing. Nice dryness. So it allows you to come back for another swig. It's only 5.6% ABV, I believe. Is it 5.6? Yeah, 5.6. So, you know, you can drink a few of these before, you know, you feel anything. But one thing I think is lacking. Now, I don't know. I wasn't around in 1744, so I couldn't tell you. But from what I've read, because I've read the book, the IPA book. I've read the hops book. And I've read a lot of other brewing books. You know, that's one of my things. I like to read a lot. I'll be right back. Alright, so as I was saying, I like to read a lot of beer brewing books. It makes me a better brewer. It makes me understand the hobby and stuff better. So I read a lot of those books. The reason I went away for a second is because I'm brewing a batch of beer tonight. Brewing a Guinness, a clone, or a dry stout. For those of you that want to know. And I just had to add it. I do 90-minute boils now for all of my beers. And so it was the 60 minutes. So I added 2 ounces of hops to the brew. So I have to go back when it gets down to 15 minutes to add my wort chiller and my fining agents and stuff like that. So anyways, back to the beer. So yeah, anyways, like as I was saying, is from what I've read and what I understand, when it was brewed in Burton on Trent, upon Trent, what they did is they put it into oak casks or oak barrels, and then they shipped it to India. Now this beer, this one here in particular, is lacking that barrel taste characteristic. I don't taste any of the oak or any of that kind of characteristic that you're supposed to be tasting. I'm assuming because it was transferred for a long distance in an oak barrel, you would get some flavors. It doesn't have it. But so you guys know, I will be adding oak to mine. Not toasted oak, just regular oak to mine. I'm going to put maybe an ounce in the primary, an ounce in the secondary, and then 2 ounces in the keg. I'm not 100% sure on the calculations yet, but we'll go from there, and hopefully I'll get that characteristic that I'm assuming, or I think that was the true flavor of the IPA when it originated in 1744. All in all, this beer is not bad, but it doesn't remind me of an IPA as much as like it does have the bitterness, but not, to this day standard, not that bitterness that you would get from the modern day IPAs. There's beautiful lacing. It's a beautiful looking beer. It doesn't taste bad. Doesn't, it's a very refreshing beer. It's just, like I said, I just think it's lacking that oak, because I'm almost 100% positive that it was transferred in oak barrels to India. And I don't know how, I can't remember exactly how long the journey is from Europe or from the UK to India, so but maybe say 1 or 2 months of aging in oak, you would definitely pick up some of those characteristics. This is not having, this is lacking those oak characteristics, but the malt and the hops seem like they are right, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to be making a similar beer in the upcoming weeks, and I'll basically I'm going to try and do a video on it, because like I said, I'm kind of falling back off the beer reviews, and I'm focusing more on my homebrew videos and stuff like that. I don't know, it's I like doing both, but I looked at my YouTube channel and I see a lot more beer reviews than I do homebrew videos, so I gotta fulfill those. So anyways, I'm rambling on here and going on and on and on and on and on. So anyways, if you guys want, give this beer a try if you can find it. Like I said, it was in the LCBO recently. I think I picked it up 2 Fridays ago. So yeah, go out, give it a try, and taste a bit of history, and see what you think. Excuse me. So malt profile, like I said, I'm just getting like that 2-row kind of British malt, and I'm getting a similar characteristic to East Kent Golden, as in the floral, slightly spicy, fruity characteristic. But all in all, it's not a bad beer. Give it a go. Cheers!